What's an unexpectedly well-paid job?
I work at home, as a closed captioner broadcaster for the news. I make my own schedule, and make between $35 to $65 per hour depending on the job. Large investment to get started, but significantly worth the payout.
What qualifications does your job require? Very interesting.
You have to go through a course. The course is $800 per month, and you work at your own pace. I worked while I did it at my main job, so it took me about 7 months to complete. Most people are between 6 and 9 months though. Between the course and all the equipment, it's about a $10,000 investment to start, but very much worth it, and you make the investment back quickly.
Where would one start this process?
Keep in mind, voice recognition software for closed captioning is getting better every day.
Scotland. Us Scots are always gonna need people to manually transcribe us.
Utility lineman. There is a developing shortage nationwide, due to baby boom retirements. It's well-paid base, but the overtime is fabulous.
I have a couple friends who got into this after they left the military. They all make well over 100K. Storm seasons bring in tons of overtime. They're all in their mid to late 20s buying houses.
Second this, my ex was a lineman, made easily 130K plus a year, with no college degree. If there was a storm/hurricane, he could make 10-20K in a week going out of state to work.
No degree, but probably plenty of education on how to do the job. You don't get a lot of mulligans with high voltage and heights.
Self-employed cleaning services. I don't know exactly what to call it. My parents started getting paid $35 an hour cleaning a community center to about $50 from cleaning offices. My mom started it, then my dad joined in to help her with the hours, and taking care of the house, and kids. Eventually my mom got good contacts, and started cleaning the offices of managers from factories, Sacramento politicians, and stuff alike. Can't express how proud I am of my mom. She turned all those shitty Hispanic cleaning lady jokes into something bragworthy.
My mom did the same thing, but she mainly works for very wealthy people living around us. Makes around $100 per hour, only works Tuesday to Thursday, and takes about 6 to 8 weeks of vacation yearly.
Laughing my off, glad to hear another person hitting the jackpot in life. Makes me happy to hear others with similar experiences to our mothers.
I drive machinery in a coal mine in Australia. I make about 170K. Even our new trainees are paid pretty well, about $48 per hour. I think it ends up being close to 9100K. Easy money for sitting on your ass in an air-conditioned cab.
170K Australian dollars equals $118,000.
Please tell me how I can get a job like this.
Well, first, you need to live in Australia.
Can I telecommute?
Boiler operator. Get paid $35 an hour to play Skyrim on Switch, while watching Netflix. Just have to find one that's all operator, and no maintenance. I made BuzzFeed. Links in the description.
Not original poster, but just wanted to chime in. I just got hired as a boiler operator in Hawaii. Starting pay is $38 an hour, and I didn't need any license or education. We did all training in-house.
Hello? Yes, I'd like to apply to be your assistant. A job in Hawaii? I'll be there as soon as I can.
Dog groomer. It's a weird industry, though, and a skill that really has to be learned hands-on. Grooming schools can be a good start, but I know great groomers that never went to school for it, and terrible groomers that spent thousands on classes. Just being good at handling dogs is the best foundation for success. It's not the easiest job in the world. It's largely commission-based, and you're lucky if you get any benefits out of it, but if you get enough practice in to be good at it, and build up a loyal clientele base in a decently affluent area, it's good money. The haircuts I do range from $70 to $175, and I'm paid 50%, which averages out to around $30 to $35 an hour most days. Not everyone tips, but those that do usually tip $5 to $20 per dog, and, because I do about 40 dogs in an average week, that's an extra couple hundred in my pocket. So if you don't mind working on your feet all day, sustaining repetitive motion injuries, not taking lunch breaks, dealing with insane customers, and picking off dog buttholes. It's a good living.
I was a bathroom attendant in a fancy restaurant. Made hundreds of dollars a night in cash, to do next to nothing.
Well, they don't do nothing. Their purpose seems to be to make the bathroom experience half as convenient, and 1000% more awkward, and they always succeed.
Pretty sure they're only there to keep people from doing hard drugs in the bathroom. Not a good sign, regardless.
And to stop unwanted
If it's wanted are you supposed to sign a consent waiver on the paper towel they hand you?
Garbage collectors in New York are paid up to $112K, a solid salary considering you don't even need a degree. Sounds like a nice fallback plan for me.
The waitlist for those, which you can only apply for a very short window once a year, or so, it's insanely long.
Airline dispatcher. A girl I dated many years ago I met, because she was living in my town training to be an airline dispatcher. There are just a handful of schools that teach it. I had no idea what an airline dispatcher was, let alone how much money they get paid. Dispatchers at FedEx can make $150,000 per year, or more. It also gives you a lot of options to advance at an airline, like being station chief at an airline. The girl I dated had a dream to one day be Air France station chief in Tahiti. I don't know if she made it, or not.
Court reporting. Stenography is a tough skill to learn, but plenty of court reporters earn over 100K. And no college degree required, although most court reporters will need to be certified.
I'm currently in court reporting school, and holy shit it is hard, but I enjoy it. I should be finished later this year, and I can't wait to start working.
It's very hard. And then you get out there, and feel overwhelmed for a while, but stick with it, there's such a need right now. Fun career, and you can do so many different things.
Thanks for the encouragement. It's always motivating to hear from someone who's made it.
My mom's been a court reporter for, maybe 10 years, many of them freelance. She's got a job with a county judge now, she gets like $60,000 salary, and only has to go into work when her judge has court 2 or 3 days a week. She also does a lot of freelance transcribing that brings in bank too. Definitely a stable career, would recommend.
There's a shortage of them, too. I work as the videographer, and they're like magicians. Not many people finish the school for it though, and most of it is online now. The downsides though, they are, 99% of the time, not employees, so they have to supply their own insurance, pay their own transportation fees, and buy their own machines, which are expensive. They do make a lot of money though. I think it evens out for sure.
Not the original poster, but I am a stenographer, and have been since I was 17. I also transcribe police interviews. In the last week I have heard, 1. A man describing in graphic detail how he dismembered his teenage daughter, and buried her. 2. A man detailing how he did his 7-year-old daughter a favor when he molested her. 3. A 18-year-old graphically describing her home invasion rape. 4. A murder case involving the nitty-gritty of stabbing wounds. I'm squeamish, and get all queasy hearing the wound details. 5. Coronial inquiry into the burning death of a firefighter. Plot twist, I only worked 3 days last week. Edit, what the heck, thanks for the platinum, and gold, guys. I'll frame this, and hang it at my desk to say, the shitty weeks get you internet karma.
Technical writing. If you have the ability to take complex technical information, and simplify it according to the reading audience, you can make well over 100K, annually. People ridicule English degrees, until they find out how much can be earned, as a technical writer. San Francisco Poop Patrol. A 10-person team, all they do is go around the city, and clean up human feces, which is apparently a problem there. They make about $80,000 a year, plus pensions, and benefits, which bring the total to about 150K, not even kidding. Let's go scoop poop.
But it's in San Francisco, one of the most expensive cities in the country.
Yeah, $80,000 is still really struggling in San Francisco.
Mobile crane operator, union guys pull over $200K, and it's a trade that's pretty easy on the body.
Operating engineers have a surprisingly high occurrence of back, neck, and wrist injuries. They do make a ton of money though.
Knees too. Those cabins in large machinery are not made for comfort, although, I hear newer ones are a big improvement.
Can confirm. Operating engineer for about 10 years, and have many issues with carpal tunnel, back pain, knees, and so on. I regularly work 12 to 20-hour shifts though. It's not uncommon to run equipment that has no AC. Once ran a drill in Southern California, where the heat in the cab was 140 plus, around noon. Sucked so bad. We started work at 1 a.m. to get enough time in the day. Anyone that runs equipment long enough has endless stories of misery and pain. Yet I miss it so much.
YouTubers who just copy Reddit posts into a voice thing, and then upload it with the text on the background. Edit, for those saying people who actually speak, and make it unique aren't that bad. I agree, I still don't watch them, but I agree. My point is those YouTubers who literally just copy and paste text into a text-to-speech program they found on the internet.
I don't know if this is true in other cities, but train and bus operators in Boston make bank. I've rarely met a higher paid, less engaged group of employees in my life, and I work in recruiting. Edit, since this seems to have attracted some attention, here is an article on the subject of MBTA salaries.
I have a friend who is a Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority bus mechanic. He makes so much money, he can retire at 45.
Plus, if you put in 20 years, you get a pension of half your pay for the rest of your life.
Don't bank on the pension. My father was supposed to get a pension. The company went bankrupt years after he'd moved on to a different company. As part of the bankruptcy proceedings, they completely gutted the pension. More than that, he now works for a state job, and the state's pension was either mismanaged, or dipped into by politicians, or both, so he was told he was either going to have to kick in $20K in cash up front to retain his eventual pension payout, that he was told to expect, or accept that his pension payments would be less than he'd been told they were going to be. I asked if he was going to fight that, was told it was a unionized shop, and the union had already negotiated the deal I just described. So, yeah. Don't trust that you're actually going to get any of the pension you think you're getting.
Power linemen make bank. Not a lot of people even know about it.
Insanely dangerous job though. 2 linemen died in our small town, because some person/family didn't shut their breaker off when they hooked up their generator while they were working on it. Electricity is terrifying, and sometimes even the smallest things missed can have major consequences.
I fix hospital beds, will be making 100K within my first 2 years, with full benefits. I also have full control over my hours.
How did you get into this?
Sneak into hospitals and break some beds.
UPS drivers can make close to 100K if you stay there long enough. Blew me away when I first heard that.
My uncle was a UPS driver in Maine for 30 years. He had to quit due to an unrelated injury, but I'm pretty sure he was making high 80K, low 90K before that.
Ditch digger, actually, directional boring. Guy I know was literally a ditch digger, but got into this by renting the specialized equipment just at the right time, and right place, fiber optic build out in the 1990s. He will also say that he made it simply by being reliable and trustworthy. I do not know exactly how much he makes, but he has an 80-foot sport fisherman, probably cost $7 to $10 million, and he bought a $4 million property on a whim. To be honest, if you actually show up to a job site as a contractor, and do a decent job, you are better than 90% of them. I swear half the time they will take a job, and only show up to work when they run out of beer money. And let's not even get into quality of the work. Funeral director is a great paying job with not a whole lot of schooling. That's what I do, and I make about $75,000. Bartending. Some people know, but the overwhelming majority don't. If I only worked 20 hours, 2 days a week this year, weekends, I would make close to 50K. If I really tried, and worked 2 solid jobs 5 days a week, I would easily hit close to, if not over, 100K. This doesn't apply to every bar or bartender. You're not going to make this type of money at an Applebee's or a super franchised corporate establishment.
So true. I have a good friend that bartends in this Spanish club in Miami, and he said, if he decided to work 4 days a week instead of working 1 to 2 days a week, he could probably make 100K a year.
Optician. I get $30 plus an hour to sell you glasses and contacts.
But how much schooling did you have to go through?
In my state, it's either a 2-year degree, 60 credits, or a 3-year apprenticeship with some school, 30 credits. I took the apprenticeship route.
Trader Joe's managers. General managers of stores make 100K, assistant store managers make 60K to 80K a year, not bad for working grocery.
My manager literally has no life, because she is the manager, and has to oversee, run, fix everything, which, from higher up, she gets even more work. Which also causes her to lose days off, and holidays to catch up on work. It isn't worth the money. Scrum Masters, in software development industry. They are paid 6 figures for basically setting up meetings, and being cheerleaders. They don't have any responsibility for delivery of work, and they don't have any work beyond what I described. Update, I am talking about a dedicated Scrum Master who does absolutely nothing else, but be a Scrum Master. Update 2, I agree with you when you say you hate that this position exists as an individual entity, and do believe that having one person just do this is wasteful. Update 3, I am specifically referring to Scrum Masters. Project managers, and engineering managers, and project organizers are not included in this.
I would be asking for 6 figures too. If I had to deal with Jira. My Scrum Master is a little bit more valuable than you describe, but it is an odd thing worth pointing out in this thread. He's not a useless toady. Half the value is in having a single point of contact for what's going on type question so that the workers can work, and the need-to-knowers can get the information they need to know.
I'm a gardener. There's a serious lack of folks willing to do manual labor in the outdoors year-round. Most commercial properties have to maintain a certain amount of green area in our city. Hospitals, and other places like that need legitimate crews to do the work with professionalism, no catcalling, or spitting, or swearing, etc., including bonded employees, and good insurance, and equipment, etc. As a result, we are in demand, and we get paid surprisingly well. No university education needed, low barrier to entry, great pay, and job security. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and ring the notification bell.